Okay, in last class we discussed about how to read input values from an Excel. Okay, so now in today's class we are going to discuss about how to write data into an Excel. So previous lab we discussed we are fetching data from the Excel. Now we are going to write some data into an Excel. Okay, how to do that activity we are going to see now. Okay, right. So to read input data, okay, 1 minute. So yesterday we discussed some running notes, Excel. All right. So to read input data from an Excel file, these are the supporting class files we had used. And along this, so to write some data into an Excel, along with these class files, we required one more class file as file output stream. So this is the one. These are the this is the one more supporting class file is required. Okay, and okay, so these are the supporting class files I'm going to use. Okay, right. See, yesterday we discussed get cell data. So that means we are getting data from the Excel. And in this lab, I am explaining put cell data. Means I'm going to put some data into an Excel. So this is the Excel sheet I want to connect. Okay, and I want to navigate to sheet 1. And 1 comma row 0 value I want to populate this value, and admin and the 1 comma 1 this is the value I want to populate. Okay, so this is the method I want to test it. So let me open tc01 emp export 3. Okay, let me go back to tc01 emp export 3 in C drive, HTML report, orange HRM6, tc01 emp export 3. This one. Okay, so I'm opening this Excel. So here it contains 1 comma 0 means this is the one. 1 comma 1 means this is the one. 1 comma 2 means this is the one. So right now this is the data, it is there. I'm deleting this data and I'm saving this Excel. Right now my input, my Excel sheet doesn't contain any information and I'm closing this Excel. Okay, so TC01 EMP export 3. 1 second, which Excel I modified? EMP export 3. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, right now sheet 1 doesn't contain any information. 1 second. Hello. చెప్పండి. ఒక 10 minutes నేను ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్లో క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను, తర్వాత కాల్ బ్యాక్ చేస్తాను. So this is the input. So right now my Excel doesn't contain any information. Okay, after I execute this program, okay, under sheet 1 and 1 comma 0th value, this is the value it has to populate. So I'm clicking on in admin 11 value I want to populate, and admin 1 2 3 4 5. These are the values it has to populate into my Excel. Okay, first let me execute my program, and after that we will see the explanation part. So I want to upload the data .xlsx. So that's why I'm using these are the supporting class files. Okay, now let me run this program. So my program got successfully executed. That means this put cell data method was successfully executed, and I created class for the current class, and I created object, and object dot put cell data method has been executed, and this is the values has been populated correctly. Okay, now let's see. Let me open my Excel sheet tc01 emp export 3. See, this is the admin 11 and admin 1 2 3 4 5 values. It's got populated successfully. Now let's understand how the logic is executing. So whenever these lines of code executing, the put cell data method control. So these are the values are passing to local variables of that method. So in put cell data method, so in the same class, there is a method public void put cell data. So from this method, I am not getting any values, so I have to write void. Okay, Okay, if I want some resultant value, I have to write a statement return str6 like that. Yesterday class we discussed, but I am not returning any value from this method. Just I am writing the value into that Excel. So string Excel file path, string sheet name, row number and column number and text. So this is the text I want to populate in 1 comma 0th value. So all the input parameters are clear. Okay. And yesterday we already discussed file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream of Excel file path. Excel workbook is equal. So we navigated to particular workbook and we navigated to particular sheet 1. So after that, okay, Apache POI, they have given this logic. Okay, just you can also copy and paste it. So to understand this logic, it will take time for you. Okay, so no need to worry about this code of understanding. So Apache POI team, whatever logic they have given, I copied and pasted, okay, from their website. So after navigating to particular sheet, these are the lines of code will be executed. And after that, cell is equal to sheet dot get row of row number. What is the row number? 1. And get cell means column number is 0. So that means 1 comma 0th cell will be pointed. So whenever line number 76 got executed, 1 comma 0th value got selected. And after that, I want to set a value. So cell dot set value of text. Okay, and which text I want to populate? This is the text I want to populate. So whenever line number 77 got populated, the text will be populated. So that means what are the important lines of code? These are the 3 lines and these are the 2 lines are important. Okay, right. Once my cell has been text has been populated. So line number 82, line number 82, 92, you can ignore that part because these lines of code I have written to populate my code in blue color. I have written these lines of code, so you can ignore this part. So you don't need to worry. If you don't write these lines of code, by default, your color will be populated in black color. Okay. So I have written to apply the color coding and styling. I have written this part. If you don't write line number 80 to 92, so black color will be populated font color as usual. And once the content has been populated, I want to save my file. Okay, to save your file, we have imported file output stream fout is equal to new file output stream of Excel file path and workbook dot write dot fout. So whenever these 2 lines got executed, what will happen in the Excel? The file and save operation will be performed. That means like that. So to save your file content, you need to write these 2 lines of code. Okay, to save a particular file content, we have to write these 2 lines of code. And after that, whenever these lines got executed, like fout.flush, fout.close, workbook.close, and fis.close, your file operations will be closed successfully. Okay, so to close, once file writing operations are completed, so whichever objects that you have created, those objects you have to close it smoothly. So fout.flush, fout.close, workbook.close, and fis.close. All these file operations you have to close it. So like that. So that means to write a data into an Excel, you have to tell in the interviews these 3 lines of code and these 2 lines of code, and main important lines are these 2 because you have to save the file content. And after that, you need to tell about these lines of code. Okay. And after that, we need to write this one. No. So that's it. So these are the main lines of code is required to write your data into an Excel. Okay, like that, your file operations, writing operation is done, is executing. So whichever values that you want to insert, we are calling put cell data and we are passing the required value. We are able to upload the data based on particular row number and cell number. Got it? Right. So now we understood how to execute get cell data and put cell data. So what I will do, okay, so this is the program, right? So I'm doing copy and I'm pasting TC04 program. I'm doing paste. Okay, so instead of writing all these lines of code here, instead of writing all these lines of code here, so I'm deleting supporting class files, and this the declaration part I'm deleting. And when I'm deleting this method also, okay, I'm deleting this method also. And now what I need to do to write data into this Excel? So what is the first step I have to do? I have to import Excel util. Okay, let me import first. Okay, whatever steps that you are telling, I will follow. Okay, Excel util. Excel util. What I have to write? Dot Excel API test 4. Right. Excel API test 4 class I have imported. What is the next step I have to do? I have to create object for Excel API test 4. Done over. So that's it. So I can call e.putCellData and this data will be, so putCellData method will be executed from Excel API test 4. So if I will click on putCellData method, so the control is navigated to here. So input cell data. So Excel API test 4 contains get cell data method and put cell data method. All these methods are available here. File output stream. So it's connected, all the data and all the text is populated and it's closed. Got it? So like that, we can write the data into an Excel. Okay, right. Okay, yesterday this class also we discussed. Lab number 5 also we had completed. Lab number 6. So this is also completed. Lab number 7. Okay. In lab number 7, so yesterday class we discussed about how to execute this program multiple times for different sets of input data. So in Excel, it contains for integer I is equal to 0, I is equal to 0, I1, I2, I3. So it is executing every time. Okay. But every time my in the new session, my program is executing, correct? But in the same session, I want to complete. So once I logged in, I want to execute add nationality. And after that, I don't want to log out. Again, I want to call add nationalities. Second iteration, it has to complete. And again, I want to complete add nationalities. And third iteration got completed. And finally, I want to do logout. Hope this is the program we have already done. In TestNG data provider, TestNG parameters we have discussed, right? New batch lab number 13. Lab number 13 program చెప్పామా లేదా? It's not completed. New batch.
Also not complete.
Okay, let me tell the logic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me tell the logic. So what is happening in the application? What is happening? Open Orange HR. Okay. So I'm logging into the application here, admin and admin 123, and I'm clicking on login. And I'm navigating to nationalities admin, and after that I'm clicking on nationalities. I'm clicking on add button and I'm doing like this, right? Indian 123, and I'm clicking on save, and my set of driver instructions are executing. After that I'm clicking on welcome logout and I'm closing the session, driver.quit. But whenever second iteration started, again new browser is opening and again same set of lines of code is executing. Again third iteration got started, again new session is opening and again the entire steps are executed. But it is not the efficient way. So what is happening in the program execution in data driven test? It is executing like this. One second. It is executing. So iteration 1, login method is executing, and add nationalities method is executing, and logout method is executing. So for iteration 1, so first set of input data, it is executed, and second set of input data, again it is executed, and for third set of input data, again these methods are executing. So every time what is happening, login and add nationalities, and every time new browser is opening. Instead of invoking the code like this, can we do like this? Login, add nationalities, and again second iteration, I want to do add nationalities. Again third iteration, I want to do add nationalities, and finally I want to do logout. So in single session only I can perform all the required. So which is the best efficient way? Is this the best efficient way, or this is the best efficient way? Second one is the best efficient. So that means I want to execute login method how many times? Login method how many times I have to execute? And
One
logout
time.
method how many times I have to execute? Only
One
one.
time.
Okay, I will write a logic like this. I row is equal to 0. I declared an integer I row is equal to, I declared a variable like this. Okay, and here I am writing if I row equal to 0, I want to invoke these two methods, login method and add nationalities method. Okay, and once the first time my login method are executed, and I'm increasing my I value, I row is equal to I row plus 1. Okay, so whenever first time my login and add nationalities methods got executed, my I row value will become 1, because I row value is initially 0, and 0 plus 1. So I row value it will become 1. So second time, suppose else. So in case if I row value it is not is equal to 0, I want to call only add nationalities method. I want to call only add nationalities method. Okay, forget about logout. I want to invoke only add nationalities method. So I want to write logic like this. Okay, in the @test section, I want to write this logic. So all this logic I will write in the @test. It's okay. So in the @test I will write, and in the after test, after test, I will write a logout or driver.close or anything. So that means once all iterations are completed, so I can invoke logout method. So before test section, I will invoke launching of browser. Okay. So whenever my program is executing, so I row equal to 0. So I row value it will become 1, and login and add nationalities methods got executed. Okay. In the for loop, so let me show you the code. So here I declared my I row value is equal to 0. And so here I am repeating entire my logic for integer I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to row count, and I plus plus. Let us assume the row count is 3. So my Excel contains 3 rows. Okay. Okay, right. And if I row equal to 0, obviously first time my I row value is 0 only. And whenever I row equal to 0, so my condition is true, and all my input values, test URL, username, password, and nationality text, I'm fetching all the input data from my Excel. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3, all the input values I'm fetching, and I'm invoking open orange HRM login method and add nationalities, and driver is equal to test browser dot open chrome. So like the required methods I invoked. Okay, so first point is clear to everyone. And so whenever I is equal to 1, this is the lines of code got executed from if condition, and the control it won't go back to the else condition, and first iteration got completed. So means 1 less than or equal to 3, condition is true. Second, immediately I plus plus I value will become 2. because I value is I plus plus means I value will become 2. 2 less than or equal to 3. So condition is true or false? It is true. So I can enter into the for loop. So this time my I row value is how, what is the value? In the last iteration, my I row value was updated to 1. So 1 equal to 0, condition got failed. So obviously it will go to else condition, and I row value it will become, I row value it will become, I row value I row value is 1. 1 plus 1 I row value it will become 2. So that means, so this time I want only nationality text information only, because these all details it's not required. Already my browser got executed first iteration. So nationality text information I retrieved, and I'm invoking only add nationalities method only. Okay, like that. And so that means within the same session, I'm invoking the say add nationalities method. And again, I row value 2 less than or equal to 3 condition is true, and 3 less than or equal to 3. This time, what is my I row value? No, I row value. I row value it is 2. 2 equal to 0. Is the condition is true? No. So condition will go back to the else condition. I row value 2 plus 1. I row value it will become 3. And here I'm fetching the input data. Okay, I comma 3. So that means 3 comma 3. Okay, I value 3 comma 3. That is the input value it is fetching. And a third time I'm executing my add nationalities method with third set of input data, and it is executing. And whenever I row value I plus plus 4 less than or equal to 3, condition is true or false? False. That means I will be exited from the directly for loop. So that means, so like this within the same session. So this is the logic I have written. So if I row equal to 0, then only login and add nationalities method I want to execute. In all other cases, I want to execute only add nationalities. What is the point? So like this, I have written my logic. And whenever here the value it is coming, and I'm increasing my last I row value. So that's it. So like that. So login I row equal to 0 means only first time login page opening browser that will be invoked only once. Okay. So let me go to the program. So in the after test, I'm writing driver.quit. Okay. So let me run this program. So prior to that, let me see the how many number of rows in TC01 nationality 1.xlsx sheet contains. So sheet 1 contains how many number of rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I will execute this program, my Excel will be execute, my program will be executed 4 times. Okay, let me delete, simplify it 3 times so you can understand. So here my Excel contains 3 sets of input data. So it will execute 3 times. TC07. So that time that means my browser will be launched only once, because the IRO equal to 0. Open Chrome browser was executed only once. Open Orange HRM also once. Login method also once. Add nationalities also it's executed once. And when IRO become 2, within the same session, I'm invoking add nationalities method. See, first time it is executing. So add nationalities got executed. And this time add nationalities again it is invoked when IRO equal to 2. When IRO equal to 3, so it is executed. So that means second time onwards, third time onwards, my input values are executing from here. Got the point? So like that, my test was executed 3 times. So like this, we can implement data-driven test. Okay. Okay, in lab number test ng parameters 1. So I'm coming back to the lab number 13. Okay. So same logic I have written in the test ng parameters as well. Okay. Let me show you this program. See here, my parameter browser value is equal to Chrome. That means if I want to read this value, I have to write @parameters. So that is we have already discussed. And @, so this is the browser parameter value. It is coming here. If browser equals ignore case of Chrome, then my browser is pointing to Chrome browser. If browser is IE, it is pointing to here. So like that I have written which browser it has to point out. So at the rate before test section, it will be executed once. Okay, so my browser is launched, and here I have written tc01 sample.xlsx. tc01 sample, where is that excel? Right, this one. So here it contains how many number of rows information? 4. Okay, let me delete 3 rows it contains, and it contains sheet 1. Okay, so in sheet 1 all the data it has been loaded into your data provider object array. That means object of 0 0, object of 0 1, 0 2, 0 3, 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3. So like that your object array was stored, all the input values stored into your object array, and you are connecting to with the data provider. And during the first time my IRO value is 0, I have declared. So during my iterate test is executing, so in the iterate test same logic I have written. If IRO equal to 0, okay, IRO value I'm increasing. Okay, and after that I'm invoking the application URL, and I'm calling login method and add nationalities method. So customize emailable report. So tc01 nationality. So I will explain these 2 lines of code again. And that means I invoke login method and add nationalities method if IRO equal to 0. And whenever my data provider provides second set of input data, my IRO value, last time my IRO value it's got increased by 1. So obviously it won't, the condition it won't go to the if condition, it will go to the else condition. So IRO value will become 1 plus 1, 2, and only I'm invoking add nationalities method. Okay, so let me execute this program as well. So that means in this program what I am doing is I am using at the rate data provider and at the rate parameters, both combinations I am using. Okay, so at the rate parameters are I am using in the at the rate before test section to launch corresponding browser, and in the at the rate data provider I'm getting all the input data, I'm loading into object array, and it is executing those many times. So why I have declared IRO equal to 0 means I want to execute login and add nationalities method only once, and second time onwards if my IRO value becomes 1, I don't want to go with if condition, I want to go with else condition. So like that. Okay, so let me go back and execute this program as well. Okay, so prior to that let me change my input values. Okay, okay, 661 672. Okay, now let me run my testng.xml. So here program is executing. So third set of input. So all the 3 iterations are executing in the same session. I'm not invoking open Chrome browser login method every time, because only those methods are invoked first time and if IRO equal to 0 only. But whenever IRO value it will become 1, second time onwards I'm invoking only add nationalities method. So like that your data driven test was executed. Okay, so let me go to the emailable report, testng emailable report. See here, your program got executed and customized emailable report was generated. So during first iteration, these many snapshots. So enter nationality text. See, this is the information Mexican 661, and login methods. All the relevant snapshots are captured. During second iteration, enter nationality text 683, and during your third iteration, six 83. Okay, 1 second. Nationality text. So 672. So that means every time the input value it is fetched from the Excel and why there are so many screenshots in iteration 1? Can anybody tell me? No,
We are
there are.
doing login, logout.
So
Those
login related snapshots of code, login, enter login details. This is the method got
plots are
executed
also
and the
there.
corresponding snapshots was captured in open Chrome browser, username entered, and these lines of code and all the relevant and add nationalities method. So whenever add nationalities method is executing, R1 dot take screenshot auto R1 dot take screen. So those relevant snapshots was captured. So that means during the first iteration, it is capturing login screenshots and add nationalities screenshot. And during the second iteration, I am calling only the method name as add nationality. So only it is capturing add nationality methods related snapshot. And during my third iteration, it is capturing only one. So that is the way I want to execute my data driven test. It's executed like that. Okay. And one more important, see, during the first iteration, the program got executed with this set of input values because data provider loaded these input values. Okay. And during the second iteration, data provider loaded these input values. And during third iteration, it's loaded these input values and it's being executed with that. So like that, we can implement data driven test efficiently like this. Okay. So anybody is having any doubts in this program? And here, and I want to tell you one more point. See, here it is coming TC01 nationality iteration 1. And here it is coming nationality iteration 3. And here it is coming nationality iteration 2. So let me go back how this heading is coming. So during the first iteration, my arrow value, it is become 0 plus 1, 1. So TC01 nationality underscore iteration. So value. So concatenate means, so this is the TC01 nationality underscore iteration 1. So that is the concatenated value. This is the value. It is storing into this variable, string str variable. So the resultant, so I want to print heading like this. So our reporter R1 is equal to new reporter 1 of whatever value it is there. So that is the heading it is coming. And so during the second iteration, I want to print it TC01 nationality iteration 2. So whenever I row value it is 1 plus 1, it will print TC01 nationality iteration 2. Okay. And see, like that, your email will report second heading, it is coming like this. Okay. And third heading, so it is coming whenever I row value it is comes for data provider provided third set of input data. In the else block, 2 plus 1 I row value will become 3. TC01 nationality iteration 3, it is got printed like that. Clear to everyone? So like that, for reporting purpose, I have added these 2 lines of code. Suppose if you given the fixed value every time, that is the fixed value, it will come here within the double quotation you have. But I want to print the iteration number in my emailable report. So that's why I'm using str like this. So somebody has commented, sir, in real time, can we do copy and paste, sir? Okay, somebody has asked. Okay, I'm asking in the classes, write an implicit wait syntax. Okay, write an explicit wait in syntax. If you don't remember what you will do, you will go to this my lab and you will copy this line of code after launching the browser. In your scripting part, you will do like that. Okay, so you are doing copy paste work only. So explicit wait syntax, I didn't remember. So even myself also, why I should remember, I can go with explicit wait syntax wherever it has been written. So logout method. So these 2 lines of code, I can copy it and I can paste it. That means I'm depending on my code. Okay. So you have to know the concepts. Copy and paste work, you have to know where you have to use and which lines of code you have to use it. Suppose your team lead is asking, I want to execute, don't want to execute multiple sessions. I want to continue in the same session. then you have to refer my lab here. So test ng parameters, um, lab number 3, test ng parameters 1, or just now we discussed Excel util Apache Py. So the last program you have to refer. Yeah, SAR has declared a logic like this. If I row equal to 0, so he declared value like this. And if I row equal to 0, and I have to increase my value, and first time I want to invoke launching of browser, login, add nationalities, all methods I have to call. Second time onwards, my arrow value it's increased, so the condition it won't come to if block. So you have to control will go back to else block, and whichever methods you want to call, you can call. So that means whenever you are doing by practice, you will come to know these logics. First time you don't know, but second times whenever if anybody will come and ask the doubts, you have to refer my logics and you have to refer my labs. Even real-time automation people also, they will get ready with their source codes. Okay, so whenever you join in any of the organization, you can copy this package, entire project, and you can import it in your Eclipse. Okay, so that your code can help you and you no need to write every line of code one by one. So just you can copy. So most of the work, all automation people, 70 to 80% people, they will depends on copy paste work on. So you have to know which line of code you have to do copy and paste, you have to know. Okay, that's it. Right question. So let me share. So that's it. Excel part is completed. Let me share this updated Excel. Sorry. ఏది ఏదమ్మా ఇదా ఇదా పుట్ సెల్ డేటా ఒక నిమిషం ఇప్పుడు ల్యాబ్ నెంబర్ 25 ఇందులోనా కోడ్ పెద్దగా ఉందా కొంచెం బ్రెయిన్ హీట్ ఎక్కుతుంది అక్కడ తప్పదు ఓకేనా మీకు ల్యాబ్ నెంబర్ సెలీనియం టాపిక్స్ అన్ని డైరెక్ట్ ఈజీ ఉంటాయి ఓకేనా ఇవి ఎక్సెల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ మీరేం చేయాలి అంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు డిపెండ్ ఆన్ మై వీడియో అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రిఫర్ 2-3 టైమ్స్ సో ఈ ల్యాబ్ నెంబర్ 25 అనేది ఒకటికి 2-3 టైమ్స్ నా వీడియోస్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యి అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ డూయింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ యూ వోంట్ గెట్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఓకేనా సో ఈ ఒక్క ల్యాబ్ లో మీరు అందరూ ఒక 1 అవర్ ఎక్స్ట్రా స్పెండ్ చేయాలి వీడియోస్ మీద డైరెక్ట్ క్లాస్ మీద డిపెండ్ అవ్వకూడదు ఓకేనా ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ లైన్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద వాల్యూ ఇట్ ఈస్ పాపులేటింగ్ in 1,0 1,1 and the lines of code is executing from put cell data method here okay so ఇవన్నీ background లో execute అవుతున్నాయి because these are not code from Selenium so all these objects has been connected created and all these objects has been created you navigated to particular sheet 1 and you populated so and so text into the particular cell ఓకేనా సో నేను పంపించిన రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ మీద మీరు డిపెండ్ అవ్వాలి ఎక్కువగా ఓకేనా సో యూ కెన్ సో ఇప్పుడు నేను రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తాను ఎంత క్విక్గా మీకు ఏమర్థమైందో నాకు చెప్పండి ఇవాళ క్లాస్లో మనం ఇది డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం అన్నాను యూ హ్యావ్ ఇంపోర్టెడ్ దీస్ క్లాసెస్ సో దీస్ 3 lines ఆఫ్ కోడ్ మీన్స్ యూ నావిగేటెడ్ టు అప్ టు షీట్ 1 అని అర్థం అండ్ ఈ 2 lines ఆఫ్ కోడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినాయి అంటే ఏంటి సో 1,0th వాల్యూలో సో అండ్ సో టెక్స్ట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ పాపులేటెడ్ అని అర్థం అంతే కదా సో 1,0th వాల్యూలో సో అండ్ సో వాట్ ఎవర్ టెక్స్ట్ you have given the text value has been populated and these 2 lines of code we have written for to save the file content and to close the file content అదే రాసింది అక్కడ అర్థమైందా సో మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్ క్విక్ గా చూడండి ఓకే సార్ మెయిన్ లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు మిమ్మల్ని ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ లో అడిగారు హౌ టు రైట్ డేటా ఇంటూ అన్ ఎక్సెల్ అని అడిగారు సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చెప్పాలి ఫైల్ ఇన్పుట్ స్ట్రీమ్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద ఫైల్ ఇన్పుట్ స్ట్రీమ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఇంపోర్ట్ ఫైల్ అవుట్పుట్